Hi, my name is Nathaniel Kim, but most of you probably know me as Euclides. I made this video to spread the word about Michelangelo, one of the world's greatest Renaissance artists, but forgotten around the world. But first of all, who is he? Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni was born in this house on March 6, 1475. It was located in Caprese, Italy. When he was several months old, his family moved to Florence, where he grew up. Unfortunately, his mother died when he was only 6. As a young boy, his father sent him to study Latin with Francesco da Urbino. However, Michelangelo expressed a desire in art instead. At age 13, he became an apprentice to the painter Domenico Ghirlandaio. 1 year later, Ghirlandaio sent Michelangelo to study in the great Lorenzo de' Medici school, where Michelangelo met many prominent figures of the art world. During this time, he finished the sculptures Madonna on the Steps and Battle of the Centaurs. Once Medici died on April 4th, 1492, Michelangelo moved back to his father's house in Florence. There, he produced a wooden crucifix and a marble statue of Hercules. After moving to Venice and later to Bologna, in 1494, he settled back in Florence and worked on 2 more statues. One depicted a child St. John and the other a sleeping Cupid. The St. John statue was sold to Cardinal Raphael Riario, who was so impressed that he invited Michelangelo to Rome. Michelangelo arrived in Rome on June 25, 1496. About a week later, he started to carve a statue of Bacchus, the Roman god of wine. In November 1497, the French Cardinal Jean de Bilhete commissioned Michelangelo to make the Pieta, the first of his 3 great works that I will be talking about in this video. The Pieta was created in 1499 and is a marble statue depicting Jesus on Mary's lap after the crucifixion. Originally, it was shown in the Cardinal's funeral monument. It was later moved to St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, where it still is today. There are various interesting things to note about the Pieta. First of all, the figures are quite disproportional, as a fully grown man is fitting in a woman's lap. Also, in the sculpture, Mary is still young. However, in reality, she was about 50 during the crucifixion. Her youth is meant to symbolize purity. Many people have interpreted the Pieta to represent death. However, Michelangelo intended for a sculpture to show the relationship between man and God. After he had finished the Pieta, he inscribed the words Michelangelis Bonadotus Florentinus Faciebat onto the sash running across Mary's chest. When translated from Latin, this means Michelangelo Buonarroti, Florentine, made this. On May 21, 1972, the Italian geologist Laszlo Toth attacked the Pieta with a geologist's hammer while screaming, "I am Jesus Christ." With 15 blows, he removed Mary's lower arm, knocked off part of her nose, and chipped one of her eyelids before being stopped. Because Toth was mentally unstable, he was not charged of any crimes. Instead, he was sent to an Italian psychiatric hospital for 2 years and then was deported to Australia. The Pieta was restored and is now encased in bulletproof glass. The second great work that I will talk about is The Last Judgment, a fresco approximately 45 by 40 feet and on the altar wall of the Sistine Chapel. It was started in 1536 and completed in 1541, and shows the Last Judgment, where Christ comes back to earth for the final judgment of who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. Jesus, the most important figure of this painting, is shown right in the middle. To his right, our left, is the Virgin Mary, turning her head in resignation. Surrounding Jesus are the elect of God, who are those who have been predestined to salvation. Also surrounding Jesus are various saints. Some of them can be easily recognized. St. Peter with the keys of heaven, St. Lawrence with the gridiron, St. Bartholomew with his own skin, as he was said to have been skinned alive, St. Catherine of Alexandria with the cogwheel, and St. Sebastian with the arrows. A quick thing to note is that St. Bartholomew has been theorized to be a tragic self-portrait of the aging Michelangelo. On the top of the picture are 2 symbols of Christ's death and resurrection. Near the bottom are the angels wakening the dead bodies with trumpets. In the lower left-hand corner, dead bodies are being brought back to life and ascending to heaven. In the lower right-hand corner, angels and demons send the damned to hell. At the lower right corner is Charon sailing down the Styx. He is leading more of the damned to Minos, who will judge their fate. Finally, at the bottom is a depiction of Hell's mouth. The Last Judgment was criticized for its many depictions of nudity. In 1564, the Council of Trent prohibited nudity in religious art. Daniel da Volterra was hired to cover up the nudity. To do so, he painted vestments and loincloths over the genitals, thus earning him the nickname the Breeches Maker. The third and final great work of Michelangelo that I'm going to talk about is the Sistine Chapel ceiling. It was started in July 1508 and finished in October 1512. The ceiling is about 131 by 43 feet and is about 66 feet high. In order to reach the ceiling, Michelangelo had to design his own scaffold system. He used the fresco technique, considered to be the most difficult method of painting. Because he used it, he encountered many obstacles. One of these obstacles was mold. Another of these obstacles was bad weather. So, what exactly are the pictures on the ceiling? Well, in the center are 9 scenes from Genesis, the first book of the Bible. On the sides are prophets and sibyls who foretold the second coming of Jesus Christ. Also found are the ancestors of Christ and stories of tragedy in ancient Israel. Finally, scattered are smaller figures, cherubs, and nudes. In all, there are 343 figures on the ceiling. The 9 scenes shown are the separation of light and darkness, the creation of the sun, moon, and earth, the separation of land and water, the creation of Adam, the creation of Eve, the temptation and expulsion, the sacrifice of Noah, the great flood, and the drunkenness of Noah. In summary, these pictures show how God created the world as a perfect place and added humanity, how humanity fell into disgrace, and how humanity was punished by death and separation from God. Here are some interesting facts regarding the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo was commissioned to paint the ceiling by Pope Julius II, but did not want to. His experiences of painting the ceiling were miserable. In fact, they were so miserable that he even wrote a poem about them. Right next to the ceiling is the Last Judgment, as shown in this picture. It has been said that Michelangelo read and reread the Bible while painting the ceiling of the chapel, trying to gain inspiration from the words of Scripture rather than traditional sacred art. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you learned a thing, or many things, about Michelangelo. Please spread the word by telling your family and friends about this great Renaissance artist who has been forgotten by pretty much everyone. Thank you!